What is up, Fox fans? Of course, Joe here at XiX Games, and check it out. Of course, we got the Jupiter 1000 here from Nerf Rival. This thing is ridiculous. I mean, it's a cool looking blaster. It is a little on the pricey side, especially for what it is. But let's go ahead and check this thing out and see if it is something that, hey, maybe if you guys want to see or you guys been eyeing in the store, if it's something worth getting. Now, originally, you could see right out of the box, I got to move a lot of these accessories here. This thing, when you see it in the store, I mean, when I saw this, I was like, man, this thing looks in charge, ready to rock and roll. It's a sniper. This is like the first ever from Nerf Rival. Man, this thing has got to be a devastator. But yeah, you're missing a little something, as you'll notice on the box there. 90 FPS. So really, it's right on par with a lot of the different Nerf Rival blasters that are out there, because it's only shooting 90 FPS. A lot of the different handguns you can see right here and stuff that we have, yeah, they're shooting 90 FPS. So for me, I'm almost like, why would I get a whole huge sniper rifle when I can get almost the same thing in, say, like a Chronos and save myself almost like triple the cost? So anyways, let's get into it. The box, again, I think looks cool. It's definitely menacing looking, but yeah, you know, it's going to be a little something when it comes down to the pure factor of, does it actually do what it's supposed to? So let's get into it. I want to talk about some of the accessories that come along with this thing first, before we talk about the blaster, because this is one of the biggest things, I think, why people will most likely get this set. This alone you can get, and it's about 20 bucks, which is kind of crazy. It's like $15.99 at my local store, and it's just basically a target. So you can set it down, you can shoot at it with your different Nerf Rivals, and it gives you a little bit of feedback. So when you hit it, kind of gives you that little ding, right? And especially if you hit this with some of the smaller, more high impact, smaller darts, you get a little bit more of a, you know, a ding when you hit it. I think by far this drives that cost up. If this blaster was just alone without the actual target, it'd probably be about 20 bucks less. So maybe like around the $40 range. I think this was like $69 when I got it. So it is something to think about. Maybe in the future they'll offer it all by itself. They do have, I mean, some of you guys are probably looking too. They do have just the single handgun, or the single handgun that looks kind of like just like the front of this, and that is, I think it was like $22 at my local Target store. So it's almost the same thing. It just, this one gives you that butt stock that everybody's been kind of wanting, right? So let's take a look at the blaster and kind of go over each of the individual pieces from it, because I think this has the potential to be a really good gun, especially when you upgrade some of the components on it. So overall, the straight looks of it, I think, look awesome. I mean, it's one of the first kind of these, these sniper rifle type guns that are blasters that you're looking at. It has a great feel. This kind of definitely sits in the arm very well. Now, one of the things about this back piece here is it's a different type of plastic. So this is like a hard plastic up here, right? A hard, shiny plastic. And this is kind of it's almost like a rubbery, sticky plastic, and it actually feels great. So when you have your face on here, it's kind of like a stickier plastic, so it gives you a really good feel. I actually would wish that Nerf used this plastic in the grip. It would give it this really good textured feel to it. It's kind of hard to explain, but I love this. I love this. Whatever they did back here, I say do it on the handle too. I think it would give people a really good grip when they're kind of gripping any of their Nerf Rival blasters, or Nerf blasters in general. The handle is a little bit on the skinnier side comparison to, say, like a Nerf Knockout. The Nerf Knockouts have that little more like pistol type, like larger, and this still is a little bit skinny. It still feels great, don't get me wrong, but it is something to kind of think about. Like my hands are quite large, and I mean, I can almost cup that whole thing. I almost go all the way around and then some, so it is something to think about. Now, since it is a sniper rifle, of course you're going to have more than one shot. So the way you kind of feed the balls into here is you can actually see up here in the front, you kind of can see that chamber, how many rounds you have there through that clear plexiglass there. You basically have to pop the kind of the loading mechanism here. And for me, it's kind of herky-jerky. I don't know about for the rest of you guys, but for me, it's kind of like, and it's kind of like real herky-jerky. So you pull it back, and you'll notice right there at the top, that kind of little hole is where it exposes the inner clip. And you just push the balls all the way down in, you close it back up, and it'll automatically feed around in there. And again, it's, a nice sniper rifle type action. I really wish it would be smoother. I think when you guys try this, you'll see. If you just see this, I mean, it's just very herky-jerky for me. I always feel like something's going to break in there, and it's not as smooth as some of the other Nerf Rival blasters that I've shot. Now, of course, it has the classic safety right here on the right-hand side. It is only on one side, so it's right there by your thumb. And, of course, a lot of cool accessories come with this, which I think, you know, makes it kind of cool. You do have this top rail here, which I think looks great. So if you wanted to put something like that Nerf Rival scope on there, I think it's a great addition to this, even though I feel like this is more for SMGs. But still, I mean, you can still look down it and fire off and fire away. If you don't want to use the Nerf scope, it does have the built-in rail sights with a little pop-up piece here right in the front where you can kind of look down and do it. I prefer this or maybe a real scope, like a normal, you know, 4X scope, because you're not shooting 100 yards with this thing. So I say pick up one of these little Nerf Rival ones if you're going to do it, because I think it looks great. It actually functions very well when you're looking down it because of this back butt plate. It just feels so good. Again, this back butt plate, I wish they would make more Nerf blasters with that type of plastic, whatever they're doing back there. Now, of course, in the front, it's going to come along with the bipod as well. It's something that you could use on your other Nerf blasters if you wanted to. I couldn't see anybody else using it, but it does come with that quick release, so you can quick release it right off, put it back on, lock it back on, and it's pretty nice. You can go and you can just flick down the sides, and it has these extra legs on there, so you kind of can position yourself to whatever, you know, whatever height you're trying to do, you know, whether it's higher or lower. You can position that up, you can hit it, run back to your next spot, push it down, and then kind of go again. So I think it's kind of, you know, it's kind of nice. I don't see another use for it on another blaster, but hey, leave it in the comments if you guys have other uses for that. They also have it, the back piece here to level out the front. So as you're kind of sitting there, you can push this little lever here on the back and drop this kind of little balancing thing out here. So when you have the fronts down here, right, everything kind of balances out so you can get right back on it and start shooting again. And it's kind of neat because this one will actually kind of self-contract. So when you push the button, it goes right back up, so you're ready to rock and roll. So I could see someone running out, you know, setting up real quick, or if they're like this, you know, they run to their next spot, they drop the bipod in the front, drop the back, kind of get all lined up for their shot, wait for their target to come, take their shot, boom, boom, and they're off and running again. So, I mean, I don't know. I think this is a cool blaster. I think it is a little bit pricey for what it is. I would probably spend the extra 20 on like a Percy's or something like that, because I think it's just a devastator. But if it didn't come along with the actual Nerf Rival target set here, I think it'd be priced about right. If they drop it about 10, maybe 12 bucks, the set would be good. If they dropped this and dropped it another $5, it would be excellent, I personally think. Now, performance, what does this thing shoot? It claims to shoot 90 on the box, and that's exactly what we got. Of course, I always experience Nerf blasters shooting roughly about 5 FPS faster than what they claim on the box. And, you know, it shoots just like any other blaster. So when you're shooting 90 FPS, I didn't see an increase in accuracy with this to the Chronos to the Knockout. The accurate is all about the same. And unless you were shooting darts or it was shooting like 140 FPS, then yeah, we might see maybe a little more range and a little more accuracy. So overall, guys, I think this is a cool blaster. It is a tad on the pricey side, but maybe in the future they might, you know, change it up and maybe make it a little cheaper. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this thing. You know, again, I love it. Don't forget about all the giveaways that we're doing. I can't stress that enough to get in on that because, you know, we love to give you guys cool stuff. Anyways, have a great weekend, Fox fans, and definitely subscribe if you guys haven't already.